Color Out of Space. What an intriguing title. It's descriptive yet mysterious. Color, we know what those are, but this one isn't from Earth, it's from outer space. What does that look like and how did it get here? These are the questions faced by Nathan Gardner, played by Nicolas Cage, and his family in the movie we have before us today. Recently relocated from the big city to the woods near the town of Arkham, after the mother Teresa Gardner, played by Jolie Richardson, had a bout with cancer. The couple and their 3 children are now trying their luck running an alpaca farm. Everyone is still adjusting to the new location and the different pace of life, with heads occasionally butting. The story gets going when a meteor lands in the backyard of the Gardner family one night. As you probably guessed, this meteor brought the titular color out of space to our lush green planet. From here on out, things quickly get weird. Strange flowers spring up, Jack starts talking to the water well, people start to experience time lapses, technology goes haywire, and then things escalate from weird to freaky. This color is changing the world around it, including animals and people. Can the Gardners make it out alive and in one piece? I was pleased with how well paced this movie is. We get to spend some time with the family before the meteor hits, so we get a good sense of who everyone is. This helps a lot in the second half of the movie to understand everyone's reaction to what the color is doing, and this keeps the movie grounded as it hurls towards its mind-bending conclusion. The cast really sells it too. Nicolas Cage gives a mostly subdued performance here. We get to know Nathan Gardner as a patient and caring father and husband. He tries to be the rock of his family, always assuring everyone everything is going to work out. When shit finally hits the fan, he oscillates between freaking out and regaining his calm to get his family through whatever the hell is happening. It is also nice to see Jolie Richardson in a movie like this. I mainly know her from freaky TV show Nip Tuck. She was in the cult classic Event Horizon, but otherwise doesn't seem to appear in a lot of science fiction movies. In this movie, her character Teresa is more serious and worried, which contrasts well with her dreamy and optimistic husband. She is trying to run her business as a financial advisor out of the attic, but is frustrated by the wonky internet and lack of direct contact with her clients. A lot of the time the movie puts the 3 children center stage though. The movie opens with the eldest daughter Lavinia doing a Wiccan ritual in the woods, and a lot of the time we follow the movie from her perspective. She is played by Madeleine Arthur as a rebellious teen but with the ability to remain level-headed when things get dire. Brendan Meyer plays Benny Gardner, the middle child and a bit of a pothead, but he does his best to help out around the place. You may recognize Julian Hillard from The Haunting of Hill House, here playing Jack Gardner, the youngest son and by far the weirdest of the siblings. All 3 are giving good performances, they each endow their character with a distinct and memorable personality. This movie is based on a short story by H.P. Lovecraft, first published back in 1927. The early 20th century was a time when our worldview really started to shift and scientific discoveries showed us reality was more complex and frankly weirder than we thought it was. Back then it became clear that the universe was a lot older and much bigger than previously believed. Coming to terms with living in a universe that is billions of years old and that is continually expanding, that must have been a daunting task. Couple that with an active imagination and who knows what lurks out there. Things ancient and beyond our fragile comprehension, perhaps. Add to that the realization of how limited our senses actually are. There are a lot more pitches of sound and wavelength of color than we are able to perceive. The desire to capture these new and frightening insights is what led Lovecraft to write the story this movie is based on. He wanted to find something with an otherness, something we would have trouble comprehending. An alien color. For the filmmakers, this presented an interesting challenge. How do you capture this visually? In literature, you can leave a lot to the active imagination of the reader, but on film you have to actually show something. Luckily, director Richard Stanley and his crew really stepped up to the plate and made a striking looking movie. The movie is oozing with color, and it makes good use of lighting to create a mood that shifts between mesmerizing and threatening. I was really impressed by the cinematography on display here. The beauty of the New England location is captured in beautifully composed shots. The lushness of the grass and the trees, the quirkiness of the well, the presence of the house. The camera makes it all stand out. The movie maintains a strong visual style throughout. Also props to the sound department for making the movie sound tense and otherworldly. The soundtrack is deeply atmospheric and wholly absorbing. I have to say I really enjoyed this movie. I found it well paced, tense and disturbing. It has a good sense of humor too, which helps to balance out the more freaky elements of the story. The killer visuals and bonkers story make this one a recommendation for me. If you like Lovecraft or movies like The Thing or Annihilation, this is a must-see. I'm going to give this one 4 vanishing points out of 5. It wouldn't surprise me if this one is going to become a cult favorite in the next years.